Welcome to the Downtown Arlington Citizen Media. I am Daryl Smith Jr., and across the internet for me is...
I am Rody John, and across the interwebs from me is...
Amy!
On today's show, we talk to Ralph Sobel, the president of the Lake Interlochen HOA, about one of Arlington's wonderful holiday gyms, the Interlochen Christmas Lights.
We also sit down with Luke and Lauren Brewer of Center and Front Outfitters about the inspiration of the Arlington and Decatur themed clothing line, along with designs you can buy at centerandfront.com, plus what we can look forward to in the future.
Wow. Well, I really enjoyed looking into the centerandfront.com website at these designs. There are some really cool Arlington shirts that I really like, and I'm planning on ordering some.
Oh, yeah.
I really like it.
I like Stadium City. That's my favorite one. Like, I never thought to call us that, and it's so dumb. Like, I hate that we have 3 stadiums, but if we're going to have them, let's go ahead and own it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Division Street Drinking Club is my favorite. But
I like that one, too. That one is cool.
I love the Arlington with several different colors. I love Arlington.
I like the north-south and east-west street shirts.
Yeah,
those are really cool too.
Yeah, and there's even one with Little Road on it, which Little Road was basically the first street I ever lived on in Texas. I love that representation. It's a great website. I have one complaint. I've already sent an email. I need some V-necks up in here. Some skirts they're not going to cut it for me. But besides
you and the emo boys need them.
Right. Yep. Me and all the emo boys need those. Anyways, boys, what have you been up to this week?
Well, we all did a little recording this Saturday.
Sure did.
Downtown. We all went to Create Art. No, yeah, we all went to Create Art.
Yeah.
It was a long day. I kind of forgot what was happening.
It was a long day.
But it was fun. It was always good to see Christian and Mark, and what they're doing down there. A lot of really great things, and excited to see what comes out of that. Yeah,
and we saw some great artwork. From a local artist that has a space there. She has prints of some local Arlington motels, those old style motels. I'm gonna buy some prints. They're well priced, really good art. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, do you want to go to createarlington, I believe, .com maybe, and then you could, or just look them up, put them in the Google machine, and they'll come up. Book yourself a tour, check the place out. Even if you're not an artist, just check out the art that is happening and the artists that are there. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and it is a co-working space, so I mean, you don't have to be a creative person or be doing a creative thing to, grab a day pass or I don't even know if they do those, but whatever, grab a monthly pass. Just be invigorated by the art that's happening around you.
Right, it is createarlington.com, and they have a really cool thing that if you're not an artist but you want to maybe sponsor an artist, you can do a monthly $10 donation that could go to a UTA student that needs the space to create their art. So that's a really awesome way that you can help just grow a local artist that will stay in this area and work within Arlington. And that's amazing.
Right. Not only can we be Stadium City, but we can also be Mural City. I think
we're on our way. There's a lot of them down there. There's a new one actually down by the building of the Arlington Music Hall. It says Howdy or something like that. So yeah, they're working on it. Mural City. I like it.
Also, we did talk to the Interlochen guy this past Saturday, and I can't wait to go out to Interlochen. Probably in the next 2 weeks. I'm not going the week of Christmas or on the weekends.
No, me either. But if you are, enjoy it. If you've never been, I don't think you've ever been, so I think it would be fun to do. We may have to be in separate cars with walkie-talkies, but
We've got them. I've got some really great walkie-talkies we can use. So.
It'll be safe, COVID-friendly. I mean, it is, in and of itself, a pretty safe, COVID-friendly thing, and it's free.
Exactly.
And, I mean, people come from miles and miles away. It is an Arlington tradition. They come from Dallas, Fort Worth, everywhere around to check out these lights. I've never done it, but now I absolutely want to and have to. It's beautiful. And thank you to those residents that put so much into that for free.
And you'll hear more about them when we talk to Ralph about the residents and how much they love it. And it's really great.
And if you don't already, go to our Instagram and our Twitter. You can see the great picture of him in his little blazer, holiday themed. Oh, it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It wasn't the light up one, but it still looked great. I loved it.
It was great. It was wonderful.
Rhodey, you've been to quite a few places.
Man about town.
Tipsy Oak went out there the other day, I believe, Sunday, not for brunch. Well, it was brunch time, but it wasn't.
I did not engage in brunch.
Right. Well, I guess I did. I had a Bloody Mary and I had the brisket egg Benedict. So you know what? I had brunch by myself.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you engaged in brunch fully.
I love a Benny. Love a Benny.
And then I've been to Inclusion. They have their Christmas themed drinks out. They have a s'more one. They have what was the one I got?
Give you some more of that, right?
Oh, Snickerdoodle.
Peppermint or gingerbread.
Oh, they do have a peppermint one. I got a Snickerdoodle one. Had 3 shots of espresso. I loved it.
Ooh,
almost up on my caffeine. Where else have I been? Definitely Old School.
We went to Old School. I was just about to say that.
Old School.
Pizza and a pint. Can't go wrong.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you get the pizza and a pint?
Of course we did.
Some cheese
bread. Lunchtime. Of course.
Yeah. Every time.
It's like you've been with us before.
Yeah. If you don't get cheese bread, did you go to Old School? I mean, I didn't.
Where's the shirt for that? Get a center in front on that, right?
Well,
exactly.
I did bring up
did you get the cheese bread? Old School.
I did ask them about some pizza and themed ones in the future. We might see some. I'm just saying.
Excellent.
Nice.
Wonderful. And of course, remember, Luke and Lauren Brewer also own Union.
Another co-working place.
Yeah.
Right. And that is in Union. What is that
Urban
called?
Union.
Urban Union. They're great people. It's a really cool space. Lots of stuff. Obviously, Four Kahunas is right there. You do a little work. You get a little buzzed. And then you go home. That's your office.
And if you don't like tiki drinks, there's Legal Draft right there, too. They have.
Or if you want a shot of tequila, Cartel Tacos right there.
Ooh, right there.
Or if you want a taco.
If you don't want to drink and you just want to eat dinner, you can do that, too.
If you want to throw an axe. You can do that, too.
You want to do that? You want to do some art? Well, come on down to Catalyst. Urban Union is just really the place to be, right?
Right.
It sounds like we just did a commercial for them, and we didn't. We just really love Urban Union.
We really just love that place. It's one
and
of
it's growing so much, so I can't wait for the rest of it to just take over Front Street and see what the future holds.
Oh, and Carne Russo is open.
Yeah, they open.
Well.
Dinner.
Yep.
There's so many great places to eat and so many things to do down there, and you can literally park your car down there and do it all.
Yeah.
The whole night.
Walk. Yeah. Beautiful.
A hole in one.
Also tomorrow, Thursday, it will be a urban market out there from 4 to 8. So come out. There's at least 40 vendors. I got some chicken feet for the dog last time. I'm definitely going to get more. I don't know if she can hear me, but she's in for a treat. Beautiful stuff out there.
All right, we are here with Ralph Sobel, the president of the HOA for Interlochen. Mm-hmm. If you're an Arlington resident, if you're listening to the show, you generally are. You know about Interlochen and the light display that you have. How are you today?
I am tired because from about 8 o'clock this morning, I've been doing last-minute decorating, trying to get ready, because even though tonight is not an official night, we're getting a lot of early bird traffic trying to come through.
Right. I mean, I imagine people are thinking, it's December, Interlochen, they already got everything down.
In fact, people probably the day after Thanksgiving start driving around. But a lot of it is us checking out what our neighbors are doing.
Okay. Of course. So. Yeah. So, it is a pretty infamous DFW Christmas light display. Mm-hmm. How did it get started? What's the genesis of it?
It really started as a real estate selling ploy. back in the 70s when the neighborhood developed during one of the oil crashes. The lots weren't selling as well as they thought, and they got the idea to decorate the houses that were there to kind of attract publicity. And it was back in the day when you couldn't get cheap lights at every big box store. So it was kind of unique, and they just wanted to draw attention to a neighborhood that at the time was way on the extreme edge of Arlington and the swamp. And it kind of caught on. The first year was the bicentennial year, 1976. So this will be the 45th year.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's such a strange genesis of how it started into what it is today, but interesting information for
right.
sure.
So I know my family loves driving around and looking at the Christmas lights, and we normally stop at the one, because we live in South Arlington, so there's one off Pleasant Ridge that has all the inflatable in front of it. Like, there's got to be 1,000 of them. You can't fit any. I don't even know how they walk around their yard. I don't think they can. I don't know how they check on anything. But and then
be careful now, because that's our house too.
Oh, is well, then we also love checking out Interlochen too, but sometimes we can't because it's in a good way.
Right.
The line is very stretched around. You know, around the, not I'd say building, but around the blocks and so forth.
If you come on a weekend, it's intense.
Oh, yes.
You don't want to come at 8:30 on Saturday night.
Right.
But if you come on a Tuesday at 6 o'clock,
right,
you can see all the same sights in half the time without straining to have to hold on for a bathroom break.
That was me one year.
Yeah. So it's best to come early in the evening on a weeknight versus a weekend.
Right. And I guess we are getting a little lucky because the sun goes down around 5:30 now, so 6 o'clock is perfect. Right. So what kind of things and sights can people expect for this year?
It's funny. We didn't send out a memo, but I've seen two people use antique cars as part of their display. So one's like an antique Ford truck with a Christmas tree in the back of it and Santa driving. It's spectacular, and this is their first year living there. So I really think they bought the house with that spot in mind. And then there's another home that is decorating a Model A in there. It's gorgeous. I mean, I wouldn't want to put it on my lawn, but for some reason people haven't done that. And then somebody else has an old camper.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of doing a campground theme. So, there's a lot of high-tech stuff. There's a lot of old-school stuff. But for some reason, those cars sitting in the middle of nice lawns
really draws
caught my
attention.
eye so far.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So, talking a little bit about that, how organized is this? Is there a cooperation between homes? Is it like, do you guys talk about it, or is it more organic and you just kind of let it develop?
I was hoping I could use the word organic, but you made me do it. We pride ourselves on really not having too many rules.
Okay, that's good.
We don't like loud music late at night.
Fair.
But what we did when we moved in 25 years ago, we kind of saw what the people did across the street and what on either side of us, and tried to do something complementary but a little different. If someone's playing music, we try not to do music. If somebody's got a zillion lights, we try to go another way. So I think that's what people do. They find their own way, but they try to do something that doesn't really compete head-to-head with their next-door neighbors.
I think complementary is probably, like you were saying, like you want it to be part of something maybe like bigger, but also individual to kind of showcase your. I think that's fun.
Right, because again, if you're like, let's say we're neighbors, and I have music and you have music, it's going to drown each other out. We're not going to be able to. It's going to be a giant headache. Nobody's really going to enjoy it that much. But if like we live 2 or 3 houses apart, you could easily do the music where it'd be fine like that.
Or you can even copy somebody if they live far away. It's not total plagiarism if they can't see it.
Right.
One of the things that is unique about our event versus some other places, there are individual houses more spectacular in all parts of town. People do wonderful jobs. Pretty much all 200 homes within the route of the lights were all built within a 10-year period in the 70s and 80s. So they're very complementary to each other. The roof lines are about the same. The lot sizes are about the same. So when you're driving around as a visitor, you're not just seeing an individual house, but you're seeing one house blend into the next house, blend into the next house, all at the same height.
Right.
And it really, we like to say the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yes.
So it's not just one person trying to do the best they can do, but it's more a case of not wanting any black holes. As long as somebody will just do a little bit, it helps the entire effect.
Yeah. I guess I'd never really thought about that, but even driving through that neighborhood when it's not Christmas, you can kind of see like that sort of thing that you're talking about. Not that I'm over in that area very often, but I do live relatively close to it. So every once in a while, I do because it's a nice little neighborhood to drive through. You know, it's fun.
If you're there, you probably missed the turn to I-30.
Yes, that's very true.
That's how a lot of people
true. I agree with that.
So, how many cars do you guys expect this year, especially considering of COVID? This is a safe thing for people to do, obviously, because they're in the cars. So, about how many do you guys get normally, and then how many do you expect to have this year?
We don't have an exact count, but we figure over the 10-day period there'll probably 100,000 people. Now, there's probably on average, let's say, 4 people per car.
Right.
You do have date night.
Yep.
You do have a young couple for a cheap date.
Yeah.
You do have an older couple for a cheap date. But mostly it's a family-friendly event. You have a minivan with 8 people in it. You have some families do a kind of a hayride effect.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mini tour buses. Big buses can't really come in, but mini tour buses and limos can. So trying to work backwards, we figured probably 25,000 cars over a 10-day period in a kind of dense little neighborhood. It's really, though, it's the nicest thing I've ever been associated with.
Right.
The main thing is it's free.
Yeah.
Sure. So, it's a fairly affluent neighborhood, but it's a cheap family date, and especially at this time of year, this has been a tough year for everyone, and to have something that by its nature is safe for them to do, we're really excited about it and expect it to be real busy this year.
Now, do you guys give awards inside the neighborhoods as to who maybe has the best house, or maybe in a best rookie kind of thing, or anything like that?
Did I tell you these things in advance? Yes, we do.
I had a dream about it.
We actually have, there's about 200 homes on the route. We have 10 awards that they're yard signs.
Right.
And nobody can win for the last 2 years. We try to spread it around because some people do so well they could win every year. They vary. The most coveted award is probably the Griswold Award.
Yeah, I was curious how much the Griswolds had to do with it.
So they're, the most over-the-top display. But we have artistic awards. We have awards for the best lakeside decorations, because Interlochen started and still is a water community. 140 of the homes on the route surround a lake. So a lot of people decorate the back side of their house. Most of the cars can't see it, but all of us take turns going around on boats, and we can see it, and we're proud of that. And then we do give an award for the best newcomer.
Okay, good.
And we also have an award reserved for old-timers, for people who've decorated at least 30 years.
Oh.
And that's the award we call it the Finley Award, in honor of the founder of the neighborhood. He passed away a few years ago, but his wife still lives in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's cool.
She still decorates for now 45 years. And there's about 10 other families that go back to the beginning of the neighborhood that still decorate 45 years later.
That's wonderful.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Like that kind of longevity is, I don't want to say it's refreshing, but it is like, it's nice to know that it's out there, like to have that, the people that are that excited about this sort of thing that many years later, because that's the kind of thing that you build tradition on, So we have, this is kind of a fun question. It's not really related to Christmas, but we have a tournament, or we have a segment on our show called the Tournament of Toppings, where we're trying to find the best pizza place in Arlington. Do you have a favorite pizza place in Arlington?
Now, this is difficult because I'm originally from New York.
Okay, fair.
And I'm probably a pizza snob.
Okay.
So we try well, not this year because of the travel restrictions, but we normally save our pizza fix for when we visit New York.
Okay.
Okay. We do like Mellow Mushroom here
good.
downtown because it's a different taste.
Yeah,
You're
I
not
would agree with
comparing crust to crust. And in our neighborhood, there's a family restaurant called Moni's.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which does a nice job, and so I don't want to sound like a New York snob here. There are so many Italian or Italian/Albanian Italian restaurants, family run in Arlington. It's just that's one of our favorite things to go out. But pizza, you just can't get a slice.
That's fair.
Right.
That's very true. I've only been to New York like 3 times, but yes, like seeing that in New York was always one of my favorite things. I'm gonna grab a slice and then we'll walk down the road. You know, like can't do that here. You really can't.
I was there last April, and going into a pizza place, and they have like ravioli on the pizza as well. I'm like, all right, this is it. This is what I want to do. You don't get that down here.
That's one of the few things I'm a snob about.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love Texas.
That's fair.
I got here as fast as I could. I really love it here.
But you were like, could the pizza have come with me?
Yeah.
And deli.
Okay. That's not a big thing here at all.
I mean, Dino's is great. I'm not going to ever say anything bad about Dino's.
There are a lot of good ones, but my wife's favorite story, she went into Jason's.
Okay.
And she said, I'd like a tongue on rye. And she said, lady, you're not in New York. We don't do that.
Wrong place.
Yeah. So, where can people come check out the lights and find out more information about the event?
Like, when is it? When does
it start? When does it go through? And then, is there a hashtag people can follow?
It officially starts next Friday, December 11th, and Saturday, December 12th. They're kind of 2 preview nights.
Okay.
That were added by the city when it looked like it was going to be so busy later on. The original opening night was going to be Friday, December 18th. We kind of felt in talking to the police department that people were going to be coming anyway, and they were kind enough to expand their budget to do that. So it does start officially Friday the 11th, although people are kind of curious and driving around even now watching to see what's going up. The official hours are 7 to 11. However, pretty much everyone turns their lights on at dark, and pretty much everyone leaves them on at least past midnight, because if somebody waits in line for an hour, gets into the neighborhood, gets halfway through, and the lights go off.
Shut off.
I wouldn't want that to happen to me.
Yeah.
So we try real hard to. We get so much positive feedback. You know, people say thank you. They say Merry Christmas. The one we got a couple years ago, my mom not only brought me to see your house, but her mom brought her before that.
That's
so
awesome.
it's a multi-generational thing with 45 years now, and people enjoy it so much, so we try hard not to disappoint them. And then we also, even though it ends Christmas, most of us keep our lights on till New Year's.
Right.
And so if you miss it over the holidays, you can still come after Christmas and see a lot of it still up.
That's incredible.
You talked about the mom or the lady bringing her kid, and her mom had brought her. I think we're going to head out there this year, and I remember going with my family because I've lived in Arlington for most of my life. I remember going with my family, and I'm really excited to show my kids this really cool and kind of Arlington Institute.
Yep.
You don't see this kind of stuff everywhere, and so I think it's really cool that it happens here for sure.
Yeah, and just an accident of how the neighborhood was built, there's a 2-mile circular loop around the houses that makes it a natural to happen. So we're lucky in that regard. I don't think anyone planned the neighborhood with Christmas lights in mind, but so it's not. So we can handle that many cars because they go in a continuous loop. They're not all...
But not one person going up this street and down this street and getting lost.
The police department do a fantastic job on that. And I've gone to meetings. They have contingency plans in the same way they do for the Super Bowl or for the World Series. What happens if something goes wrong? How do we get emergency vehicles in here? How do we clear the neighborhood out of here? So it made me feel a lot better about our city to see how they gameplay all these scenarios out.
Was that Irish?
I was about to say, like, was it the
could have been
emergency we talked to the emergency management.
I guess they'd be part of the fire department, though.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm sure they still deal with
coordinate.
the same kind of thing.
It's probably the same because we went in there. They have an emergency command center at the police station up here. We interviewed them, and that's crazy that they have the same sorts of contingencies. Like, okay, this is a big event that's happening, and that makes sense. Now, knowing what we talked about with Irish, like that makes sense that they would have it. But it's really cool that like it's not just for the Super Bowl; right? It's for like this homegrown stuff too. That's really cool. I like that.
And to be fair, in the first couple of years, when it wasn't so organized, a house burned down, and the fire department had trouble getting there.
Well,
long before I moved here, probably long before you guys were born. But so they had a real life scenario that they had to deal with.
Had to make a plan for it.
Well, I'm glad they've been incident free for over 40 years.
Yes, agreed. All right, well, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us about this. Like, I've always wondered how it started, and I'm hoping that people will enjoy this as much as I've enjoyed talking about it, because it's cool. It's one of the cool things about Arlington at Christmas that I really look forward to.
Right, this is a tradition older than our stadiums. So yeah.
Yes. And this year we're having a better year.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm a fan. I'm a part owner of the stadiums. My tax.
We're fine.
Yeah, we all are. Right?
The problem, we just have a lot of problems with our teams, but it's okay. They'll figure it out hopefully in the
one
future.
day. One day.
We've at least made it to the World Series twice, so it's okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it so much.
Nice to meet you, and nice to learn about the podcast. And we'll get our neighborhood more involved in listening to it.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Yeah, we look forward to our VIP tour. So we're good. Here with Luke and Lauren Brewer from not only Union Works but also Center and Front clothing line. How are y'all today?
We're great. How are you?
Doing great. So what is Center and Front and how did it start?
Well, Center and Front is our shot at a clothing line. Barely. We thought it would be fun to have some T-shirts that showed some personality, that poked fun at the places we love. We're a little bit inside joke-ish. And so one night we just kind of sat around and brainstormed ideas and started to kind of build stuff up in a graphic designer app. And then it kind of snowballed from there. And we went through, just all kinds of silly ideas and stuff. And so that's kind of how that came to be.
Some have stuck. Some are still coming.
Yeah. We've got a lot in the pipeline, just coming up with the designs for them and really figuring out the process of getting them online, getting them advertised, and just seeing what happens with them is kind of where we are with it.
But we're super excited about it. We think that this is something that Arlington has needed. Dallas and Fort Worth definitely are branded and branded pretty well. And we feel like, Arlington has a little bit of a gap there, and we are hoping to kind of fill that gap. And
not that we're going to brand Arlington, but people have branded Arlington already.
Oh, of course.
And so let's just have some fun with it and see where it goes and be playful and fun and a little bit self-deprecating and just have fun with it. I think people appreciate it. The few people I've talked to, just kind of spreading this idea around have gotten a chuckle out of it. And really at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like right now you're wearing the North to South shirt.
Yep.
Which if, go on the website, centerandfront.com, and you will see, you can, I guess, name the streets off if you want, but it goes all the streets, north to south, and
shockingly, Green Oaks is on there twice.
It's on there twice.
Because it is. It's
that's right.
a sandwich.
That's right. So basically it was like, let's look at the map and look at the north to south street. But the funny thing is on the east to west streets, Green Oaks is on there too.
Exactly.
So I think that's one of the fun quirks about Arlington, that you kind of have to live here to like you catch it and you're like, oh, that guy's not an idiot. He didn't just put it on there twice by accident. He didn't spell check or check his work.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah, look at the map. You'll see it.
Yep.
So you not only have shirts about Arlington, but also Decatur and Wise County. What other cities do you have in mind for the future?
Well, we just took a road trip to Lubbock to see some of my best friends, and we think Lubbock's lacking some of this as well.
Which is surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
Tech is huge out there. There's not a need for Texas Tech shirts at all in Lubbock. But, Lubbock has its own culture, too, that isn't just Texas Tech. So I think that might be one of our next cities to kind of start to think about. But really, we're pretty open for any mid-sized city in Texas.
Right.
There's a lot out there that aren't just Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston,
right.
and Austin. There's a lot of places that could probably fill that gap. But Decatur's my hometown, so we know it very well.
Right.
To me, it's very unique and very special. And the fact that we just know it, and we know, it does only have 2 seasons. Football and this crazy thing that we call the Wise County Reunion. So that's one of our favorite shirts. And then Luke has been calling me a hater from Decatur since we met. So that's a shirt, and how can you not have that as a shirt? So
I'm sure in Decatur that's probably your number one seller.
I hope it will be.
Yeah. But I grew up in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
I went to school in Arlington School District, but I lived in Grand Prairie, so that's definitely in our crosshairs.
For sure.
Lauren went to school in Lubbock, so we want to be authentic, right? We don't want to just like pick and choose places that we don't have some kind of connection to.
Or knowledge of, right? You have to have knowledge of the place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for a while, Decatur, definitely Arlington, Grand Prairie, those are going to be the big hitters.
Yeah.
We'll probably throw a little shade at Mansfield.
Right, obviously. Yeah.
Why wouldn't we?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And then, I think Fort Worth, Dallas are going to get their fair shade back because, they dump on Arlington plenty.
Oh, of course.
The haters in Dallas and Fort Worth. So.
Yeah. Well, you also have the Pantego shirt, which I love very much.
Thank you.
In
That's
big
a
letters,
good
it says Pantego Love, but if you look closer, it says we would welcome Pantego. We would love to give you a ticket, which is very true.
Yeah. I think anybody that grew up driving around Arlington has a special appreciation for that shirt. Yeah, for sure.
You could also put DWG in there too. And the same. Yeah,
definitely. DWG, or I guess you could do DWG. Down Worthington Gardens is pretty hard to fit.
Oh, it's true. That's the problem.
So, yeah.
One of my favorite shirts, though, right now is the Stadium City. It says Stadium City, and then in small it says Arlington, Texas. Because whether you love the stadiums in Arlington or you hate the stadiums in Arlington, it's a fitting shirt.
It's true.
It's like, oh yeah, we're awesome. We're Stadium City. We have all the cool stadiums.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh my God, why do we have all the stadiums? We're Stadium City. You can kind of take that shirt however you want it. So that's definitely in my closet. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I have it in bright red, and that's going to be my game shirt.
Very nice.
For when we get to go back to games.
Yeah, when
for
you finally
sure.
are allowed to.
Yeah. That and a Ranger hat, and I'm ready to go.
That's
you
right.
know.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that'd be the coolest thing is for people to start calling Arlington Stadium City.
Right, because Fort Worth is Panther City for whatever reason. And then I don't know what Dallas is. Dallas is just
Big D, I suppose.
Yeah, Big D. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and the Panther City story, right? I think is totally fabricated.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's like one of those don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Right.
So at least we definitely have 3 huge ass stadiums
within a walking. Actually, you can throw a rock. You have to stay in one spot and throw a rock at any.
Right.
Yeah.
And then next to that is the esports stadium. So it's like, we
got all the stadiums
stack on top of each other.
Yep.
So what sizes can people look for in these shirts?
So we are doing from extra small up to 4X.
Nice.
And the reason we're doing that is because I'm a bigger dude.
Right. You are a tall man.
It's a little thick.
Yeah.
A little thick boy.
Yeah.
But
thick as oatmeal. Right? Kids,
that's right.
Yeah.
And I would be bummed out when I would go see a cool T-shirt, and it's only 2X is as big as it gets. So I'm like, And it sucks, one of the facts of life is, we have to charge a couple bucks more, but at least they're there. So that's where we're able to start with this. And maybe one day we'll be able to work out a way that everything's the same. Right? But for now, we at least have them available.
Sure.
Yeah, so it was really important to us to be as size inclusive as possible. So, that's why we picked this certain printer and that type of deal. So hopefully the more we go, the more we learn, and the more we'll be able to do.
Right, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So what designs can we look forward to when it comes to Arlington, maybe about old businesses or current Arlington staples?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that one. The old business ones, there's a few businesses I have in mind, but I'm not ready to totally share those yet, just because...
it's Joe Exotic, isn't it?
Could be Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
That would be a great one.
Yeah, that pet store you had here.
Yeah. I think the next thing that I have been working on, I just haven't got them totally fine-tuned, is some of my favorite country lyrics on shirts. So that's a branch I think that we'll add soon. Because who doesn't want like a good old Dolly or Reba quote on their shirt, right?
Or Merle Haggard or anybody like that.
Yeah. So that's something I've been working on, and that section will be coming out shortly as well, because I am a girl of the 90s and grew up with 90s country for sure. So that'll come out soon.
Yeah. So, but the one thing that will end up happening. So, if you look at the website now, our there's a definite aesthetic to our design, and that's going to change a little bit eventually. Really, this right now it's about getting it off the ground and just seeing what our supply stream will be like and what the quality of the product is that goes out as they're ordered, and just making sure that that's good enough, for what we want to do.
Right.
And then after that, we're going to start really tweaking things and looking to poke fun all over town.
I think maybe some nostalgia ones, like the old Arlington logo, or I mean, we're looking at the water tower over there. It's got two different logos on it.
Yeah.
So, and then Arlington's grown even further with the Dream City tag on now. So, I mean, there's so much potential there.
There's tons of stuff. And UTA's got a ton of stuff. So. There's a shirt out there making fun of UTA football.
Yeah.
So,
that's right. Yeah. Undefeated since what, 86?
Undefeated since 86.
Yeah.
That's right. So, if there's anybody out there that remembers UTA football, they should totally get that and support it. And let people look at them kind of crazy.
Right. They're like, wait a minute, they don't have
UTA
a...
doesn't have football.
Now, could we also see maybe a Pantera, Pentatonics, or a Cass Haley shirt?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They've got their own... huge branding thing. If there's a way to spread some love to those guys, we're not sitting very far from, where I ran into Dimebag right down the street.
Oh, really?
At a little bar called the Why Not on a random Wednesday night. So if we could find a way to spread some love without stepping on anybody's toes, we'll definitely do that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I'm curious how the Pantera one will work, because I mean they're not a band, but that name alone says a lot. So, but I ran into him coming out of a Hooters one time, and he's like, "Hey, rock star," and I was like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest day of my life."
I think lots of people have those stories of those guys being around. It wasn't just one time that I ran into him; there was many times. That's a cool thing to keep in mind. And then there's always Maren Morris. Who's a mega huge star.
Right.
That we get to call our own. There's not a whole lot of them, right?
Right. I had to look them up, and I was like, I know there's other ones. But,
yeah.
But the biggest one's Pantera, Pentatonic.
Yep.
And then,
they're
growing, though. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've already asked you your favorite pizza place, but what have you guys been eating during COVID?
So we bought an air fryer.
Oh gosh.
Oh, see, I'm about to buy one.
You should.
Yes, that's what I keep hearing.
And has like replaced things on our counter. And so now it's just like, well, what could we put in the air fryer?
That's the thing.
I mean, things that you wouldn't buy as like a grown adult, like things that we haven't bought since childhood.
Bagel bites.
Like bagel bites, mini corn dogs, egg rolls that you don't buy because you don't have or you're not gonna like fry things at your house because it stinks and it's messy. Yeah. But we're just like, let's go through the appetizer aisle and see what we can throw in this air fryer.
And so, like, our one of our favorite things in the whole world is like the nacho that you get at Joe T. Garcia's.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a tostada with like sharp cheddar cheese on it and some jalapeno relish.
Right.
And so, like, the air fryer is the best for that because you just drop it in there and like in a minute it's like. Boom, perfect.
Yeah.
So that we've had a lot of those.
Yeah.
And a lot of takeout. So, right when the pandemic hit, I mean, we were trying to support as many people down here in Urban Union as we could.
Yeah.
So we were getting meatloaf from Tipsy Oak one day. We'd get tacos the next day. We'd go over to the Hive and do, lunches over there or Inspirations Catering. We tried to spread it around as well as Fuzzies and
all of them.
All of them down here.
Yeah.
So
if it was local, that's where you're going.
Right, yep.
If it was a chain, sorry about you.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
Local breweries and local food. That was all about it.
Yeah. I mean, we'd go over to Legal and pick up beer off their patio.
Yeah.
And we'd probably hang out a little too often sipping on beers over there. But nobody got COVID from that as far as I know.
But you're also working, so it's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
My only problem with Legal is that I want single cans. I don't need 6-packs of things. But I also have that problem with Martin House and other breweries, too.
Yeah.
So I guess Division has kind of spoiled me with the fact that I can buy single cans as opposed to needing to buy 4 singles at a time.
I see, yeah.
I think those places fill Martin House doesn't fill growlers, but
I think they may have started.
Yeah.
Because their tap room is like the only thing keeping them going right now.
Yeah.
That and making the craziest beers on the planet.
Right.
So
super cool beers.
Except for that hot Cheeto beer, do not.
Never tried it.
You're better off. It's like immediate acid reflux if you were to ever just drink
Yikes.
that. Yeah. It was not, no. You wouldn't finish it. So if people wanted to order shirts and then see new design and then I guess the new setup, whenever you guys get that figured out, where can they go and where on social media?
Yeah, centerinfront.com everywhere. So our website is centerinfront.com. On Instagram, we're Center in Front. And Twitter, we're Center in Front. And Facebook, we're Center in Front. So that's...
Follow us,
like us, share
for sure.
Share the heck out of it.
Yeah, if you have a great idea, let us know.
Yeah,
we can maybe make that happen.
Yeah, we can definitely make ideas happen. We'd love to hear ideas from anyone and everyone.
Well, I've got a ton of them, so I'll let you throw them at you.
Sweet.
Yes. Well, guys, thanks very much, and we look forward to doing more stuff in the future and having you guys back on.
Yeah. Love it.
And then also, when Cane Rosso opens back up, we can go.
Yeah, we'll meet up.
Yeah.
Head out there.
Perfect.
Thank you so much to our guest, Ralph Sobel, the president of Lake Interlochen, the Homeowners Association. We really enjoyed that interview. I wasn't there, but it sounded really good. And thank you so much, of course, to Luke and Lauren Brewer of Union Works and Front and Center and Front Outfitters. Love these designs. Looking forward to those V-necks and whatever ideas that we come up with and try to pressure them into.
That's the whole reason that I started a podcast, was to get other people to do things in the city that I wanted them to do, right? Isn't that the whole reason?
I mean, they already started making Arlington shirts, so we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a few things that are coming up. Daryl?
Well, just remember that Luminova is happening at Globe Life Field now through January 3rd, and you can get your tickets at luminovaholidays.com.
Every Monday night is trivia night at Dr. Jekyll's in Pantego. Actually, I guess we take that one back because of the fact that they are closed. You can still go to Dr. Jekyll's and get beer to go. So,
and I imagine that if you ask, John will ask you a trivia question.
Oh, totally.
So every Monday night can still be trivia night at Dr. Jekyll's.
Well, yeah, I take it back. Monday night is still trivia night at Dr. Jekyll's. Just make sure to get your beer to go. And
there you go.
Just ask for that question.
Oh, John, he'll just do it anyway.
Rhodey is hosting the open mic at Grounds and Gold every other Thursday. The next one is Thursday the 17th. Come out. It's comedy. It's music. It's poetry.
Right.
Whatever you want to do, you come out, you got a microphone, it's open, and you do it.
There was a coffee tasting last time. The guy, he works there, informed, he was already there working, so he just came back on stage, and he tried like almost 10 different coffees. It was a lot. He was probably up till 2 or 3.
Yeah, I imagine he did not sleep.
No, there was no sleeping for that kid.
What else?
And, just a reminder that starting the 11th and 12th, they got like a preview weekend at Interlocking. And then on the 14th to Christmas, you can go, you can go to LakeInterlochingTX.com. There's a map route. You can check out, that information there. But it's fun. You should go. If you've never been, there's no better time than the present, right? Because we're all stuck in our houses. So
this has been COVID friendly since its inception.
40 years ago. 40 years COVID friendly.
Yeah.
Someone beat that.
So you guys remember to
make sure to go out and eat local, drink local, and
go rediscover your city.
Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of the downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
make 2 copies so we can all have one.
Yes, please. Make some copies at work, full color.
Make copies and we can sell them.